dating back to last season. Your Pizza Hut starters, and Desmar Jackson, a transfer from Wyoming, where he led the Cowboys in scoring 2 years ago, doing the same for the Salukis this season. And Jeff Early, a 6'1" tough guy, just 6'1", who's 6th in the Valley in rebounding. For the hometown Wichita State Shockers at 14-1, 3-0 in the conference. Cleanthony Early coming off 24 at Bradley, averaging 16 points in the 5 games without Carl Hall, Ron Baker, and Evan Wessel. And Ehime Arupe averaging 7 points, 7.5 rebounds over his last 2 games. The Shockers have won 5 of the last 10. Jeff Campbell, Brad Ferry are the men in stripes. Ball is in the air, and we are ready to play. The Shockers will control. Expect a lot of zone look from Southern Illinois, but they open man-to-man.
Yeah, traditionally, Southern Illinois is a team that comes out, plays hard-nosed, man-to-man. But with a short bench, you're going to see 7 strong. They can go as deep as 9 guys. But they've got to find a way, because Wichita State's been too good off the dribble. They're shooting the basketball extremely well, but no question, Bruce, you're going to see a lot of zone tonight. And look for Southern Illinois on the other end. They're going to want to put the basketball on the floor, not shooting it particularly well from 3. They want to be successful off the dribble drive.
Early, not only the team's leading scorer of recent, but the team's leading free throw contributor. 56 now attempts, leads the team, 87% on the season. And right on cue, he misses one. Foul was on Kendall Brown-Searles, and it's a 1-0 ball game. As we're out of the gates at the roundhouse.
Kendall Brown-Searles, the lefty. One of the seniors on this team. They look to him for leadership. Plays a lot of minutes on the floor a lot. He'll play almost 35 minutes a game. Shockers have to contain him. Only averaging just over 6 points a game. But looks to distribute the basketball, and a pretty nice on-ball defender.
Kel Cotton out front. Armstead looks to the post, finds Early, gets the man-to-man, and the foul is on Desmar Jackson, the 6'5" junior out of Warren, Ohio. By the way, of the University of Wyoming, newcomer of the year candidate in the Missouri Valley Conference, getting instruction from the rookie head coach, Barry Henson, rookie at Southern Illinois after 4 years as Bill Self's on staff with Bill Self at the University of Kansas.
Well, if there's one guy on the Saluki basketball team that's going to get his points, is Desmar Jackson, averaging over 15 a game. You said it, Bruce, a transfer from Wyoming, where seasons ago, 5th leading scorer in the Mountain West. Well, he's the 5th leading scorer in the Valley right now.
Cleanthony, 1 of 2 from the line a moment ago, took a pretty good shot to the eye. 6'8" junior out of Middleton, New York. Went to the same junior college as 2 of the Salukis. T.J. Lindsey, Monroe College out of New York. And also Jeff Early, both of them to the same junior college that Cleanthony Early was named back-to-back National Player of the Year in New York. All the way to the basket. Wrist direct hit by Ehime Arupe.
That's what Ehime does. He blocks shots. He's a difference maker. That's his 24th block shot of the season. Had 30 last year, and we're just cracking into the Missouri Valley Conference.
Cleanthony Early with the catch and the fade. Impossible shot to block for a 6'8" offensive player. Not a player on the floor for Southern Illinois taller than 6'5". Shockers on the run out.
Look out. Woo! Tempo. Wichita State wanted to create the tempo. They wanted to play fast, play aggressive. Cleanthony Early's been off to an outstanding start.
In Missouri Valley Conference play with losses to Evansville, Bradley, and Missouri State.
Well, they're not defending, Bruce. Opponents are shooting 55% from the field, 50% from 3. They've got to find a way to defend, get out on shooters. They're allowing too many teams to drive to the basket and have easy buckets.
Nice little backdoor right there. And the bucket by Anthony Bean, the 6'2" freshman out of Normal, Illinois.
Anthony Bean's a nice player, Bruce. Leads all freshmen in the Valley. I think he's going to be a good player in this league.
Interesting story on Bean. He's, of course, the son of Anthony Bean, assistant coach for Southern Illinois, who was on staff at Illinois State, former Kansas State player. Of course, that staff was let go. Tim Jankovich actually made the decision at Illinois State to go to SMU, and that staff fell apart. Transfer was made, Anthony Bean coming over to assist Barry Hinson, and he took one of the top players out of the state of Illinois, his son, along with him. Freshman of the Year candidate, averaging just under 10 points a game.
Yeah, he started every game for this basketball club, coming off a 6-12 effort versus Evansville, 15 points. Guy can shoot the three, knocked 2 down in that game. Been hot as of late, 48% from 3. He's really, ever since he's come into the Valley play, he's stepped up his play. Prior to that, he was shooting a poor 23% from the field, so he's enjoyed Valley play early.
Cale Cotton gets one of the 2 free throws. Numbers for Southern Illinois. Arupke with his second block, and then he has it stripped. Cardinal sin of bringing the ball down. Bean with the jumper.
Nice play. Being stuck with it, he got his block shot. A poor decision. He'll take that shot against Hime Arupke, but going back and getting it, you see the nice crossover. You saw his athleticism.
Anthony with 9 early points now for Wichita State. The Shockers are having their way. Have hit 3 or 4 shots to start from the floor. 4 more by free throw. Nice job inside by Devontae Drinkard, who's in the game for the first time. And then it's Jeff Early, the 6'1 senior out of Glasgow, Virginia.
6'1", big competitive player. Outstanding rebound. You see him at 6'1", being able to go against Arupke. He's not afraid to take the basketball inside. 6th in the Valley in rebounding.
Arupke backing in, a little soft, high right-handed hook, a little too harsh. And Southern comes away after the stop. Josh Swan, the sophomore out of Atlanta, into the game. Early on the wing. Bean working against Demetric Williams. Nice little switch down low. And Hime with his 3rd block of the ball game.
Size. Pounding inside.
And Clay Anthony Early will be at the line shooting 2. Good ball movement by Wichita State in transition on the other end.
Well, no question what the game plan was tonight, was to get the basketball inside. And that leads to one of our keys for tonight. Exploit the Saluki size. You said it, Bruce, in the open. No player taller than 6'5". You got to pound it inside. But with that said, we'll see what matchup can cause for the big fellas for Wichita State, because they're going to play small. And why change anything now? 3 starters out for this basketball team. 3 starters. It's been a joy in my mind to watch Greg Marshall adjust his roster and how he's demand his bench to improve through relentless defense. His team's cleaned up the glass, and they figured out a way.
Saw Carl Hall there. He's got the cast off of his thumb. No word, though, on when he might return. His personal date for return is, of course, the Creighton game a week from Saturday here at Wichita State. Early knocks them both down. 11 points now for the junior. There's Carl Hall. Shockers' leading scorer and rebounder when he went out a few weeks ago. On the mend.
You know, what's convenient about Carl Hall is that it's no leg injury, it's no ankle injury. He can stay in shape. It's the hand. Unlike Ron Baker, he's going to struggle when he comes back in shape. Carl Hall can get conditioned. He can run up and down the court. He can get on the treadmill. Now, don't get me wrong. Game shape is different than being conditioned. He will struggle at first.
Kendall Brown Searles, one of 2 Evansville, Indiana natives on the Southern Illinois roster, knocking it down from 3-point range, and that's what he likes to do as Southern Illinois comes back in his own look.
I give Southern credit. Wichita State started off 7-0. They've kind of found a way to stick around. But once again, ball's got to go there all night long.
Shadrach LaFille hasn't scored in 3 games, breaks that skid with a tip. And the Shocker lead is out to 5. all the way to the basket. A little too easy right there, but Jake White with enough defensive pressure. Van Vliet back the other way. Wiggins, and the offensive foul. Timeout on the floor. Shockers off to a good start, lead it by 5, and they're running the floor. Anthony Early with 11 of the 12 points. At 4, Ahime with 3 of those. Shockers 4 of 7 from the floor, 57%. They've outscored Southern Illinois 14-9. Nice take, and the bucket by Desmar Jackson.
Desmar Jackson, he's the one guy at 6'5", tallest player on the court that you will see tonight. He can put it on the floor. Too easy for Wichita State. Now you're going to get a look of the zone by the Saluki D, trying to pound it inside. They're going to force Wichita State to have to beat them outside. They're just too small for them to allow Wichita State to get in the paint.
Shockers haven't probed that zone very much, just been content to throw it around the exterior.
Good pass.
Nice look inside, and Jake White off the feed from Van Vliet with the bucket.
Great job of setting the defense up. Kind of hesitates and stalls them, looks one way, throws a lob to White. I like how White kind of sealed off the outside of the zone, just create a free open space for him.
Shockers' largest lead has been 7. 3 ball on the way, contested. Van Vliet comes away with it. And he'll pull it out. No numbers in the transition. And Jake White wasn't ready for it coming down the lane. Numbers for Southern Illinois. Wiggins coming off a...
You know, the zone has created problems for Wichita State at times. You remember back at Air Force stuck to that zone offense and caused troubles for Wichita State. They just have to be patient. Shots are going to come. We talked about the percentages Salukis are allowing, 55% from the field, 50 from 3. A lot of that is because of their playing zone, and guys are finding big shots. You just have to be patient with that zone defense.
Consecutive turnovers by Jake White buys him a spot on the seat, or on the Shocker bench, and in is Anthony Early along with Ahime Arupe. Early out front. Brown Searles on the all-time top 25 chart for assists in Southern Illinois history. Nice tip on the weak side.
Yeah, and that was one concern, I think, for Greg Marshall coming into this game, the dribble drive, was how were the Salukis going to be able to attack the basket? And they've done a nice job early in this first half. You've seen Greg Marshall go into his zone a few times. Wichita State has to play good on-ball basketball. You've got 5 guys, basically 5 guards on the basketball court, and they're going to put the basketball on the floor, and you've seen it a lot.
Wiggins with the step by, and then the Shockers turn it over.
I think Wiggins has got make the pass right there to Jameek Williams. Too difficult of a pass. It's a bounce pass cross court in the zone. Tough to make.
Last touched by the visitors from Carbondale. So the Shockers will have 10 seconds to shoot. 12:49 remaining in the first half. Wichita State scored the first 7. Since then, it's been a back-and-forth affair. Malcolm Armstead off the drive. 3 ball on the way. Demetric Williams. Boy, I tell you what. Set it and shot it. 33% shooter from 3-point range. Coming off a 10-point effort at Bradley and knocks it down.
Well, that's a big 3 confidence booster for Demetric Williams. 1 of 10 from 3 over the last 2 games. Was able to get that one to fall, but I like the pass by Malcolm Armstead. Shot clock going down, attacking it. Cross-court pass, Demetric spotting up.
End up trading threes. Shockers with poor perimeter defense. That's a 3-point game.
Southern Illinois sticking around, falling back in that zone. I think Barry Henson wanted to test the water. He started out in the man, see if he could contend them, but Wichita State pounding it inside over and over. And now that zone has caused a couple turnovers the last few possessions.
Yeah, that early rhythm that Wichita State had has been broken a little bit. Yeah, Southern Illinois has done a good job. Foul on Malcolm Armstead. Saluki with the ball and down 3 when we come back to Wichita State.
We'll give the Salukis credit. They've kind of quieted the storm against the Shockers. You know, they came out in that man-to-man zone, just pounding it inside. Clay Anthony early, showing a huge amount of swag. 11 points early. They shut that off. Immediately went into that zone and created tough opportunities for Wichita State.
Foul is on Takale Cotton. Jackson at the line where he is a 63% free throw shooter. Not a particularly good free throw shooting team is Southern Illinois at 66%. But Jackson's the player, leading scorer at 15 a game, 6 average rebounds. He does turn it over a lot, over 3 a game. But he knocks down both here, and Southern Illinois back to within 2, or within 1, the closest they've been since the opening tip.
Southern Illinois starting to build more and more confidence. Pick up zone, try and force a turnover. Good catch, good pass.
Anthony Early couldn't finish at the basket.
I should say not the best pass, but a nice job by Early of getting it.
And then a whistle against Wichita State. And 2 quick fouls now on Takale Cotton.
15 foul and a half on Wichita State.
Elsewhere tonight in the Missouri Valley Conference, Indiana State and Bradley playing, and Terre Haute, Indiana State leading that game midway through the second, 45-35, and Evansville leading at Northern Iowa 17-13. The Shockers, after tonight, head on Saturday evening to Evansville for a Sunday afternoon game against the Aces. And then, of course, next week, Illinois State and Creighton come in for 2 games. 3 ball on the way, and Southern Illinois has the lead.
Brown Searles knocked 2 down. He's a 29% three-point shooter. He's been hot. They've got to find him. You know, Southern Illinois on the offensive end has handled Wichita State's pressure for the most part. They've been very, very patient. They put the basketball on the floor, got to the glass when they needed to. I think they've done a good job of trying to score in transition. They're not sitting around. They want to get the basketball up. They want to push it off misses, kind of slow it down on makes, and be patient in the half-court set. They've done a good job of that. Woo! Look at that.
Great backdoor, Hime Arupe off the lot from Malcolm Armstead.
Yeah, the poise and the patience by Armstead of kind of being nonchalant, knowing what's happening. The ball is reversing. And Hime making that space. That's twice Wichita State. Jake White and now Rupe of sealing that backside of that 2-3 zone, not allowing them to get in the passing lane. And a good feed from Armstead.
Southern Illinois on an 11-2 run, make it 11-5 as Nick Wiggins knocks it down from three-point range. Shockers are scoring baskets, but they're not doing anything to stop Southern Illinois from doing the same.
Wichita State, this is a team that has been outstanding to watch on the defensive end with their aggression, with their on-ball, forcing turnovers, making teams do things that they're not normally wanting to do in their half-court set, but Southern Illinois has found a way to stay in this basketball game and get buckets. Good
defensive possession for the Shockers there, forcing the turnover. Malcolm Armstead with the drive in the left hand.
There you go. That's what Wichita State does. Force turnovers. They get their momentum off turnovers, and they like to score early on defense, on offense. This is a team that can create amazing things defensively. It can get on a quick run and get up 6, 7, 8. Blink of an eye. Great back-to-back possessions for the Shockers.
16th foul on Wichita State. First on early. Here's exactly what Craig was talking about.
I think they just got a little stagnant, Bruce, defensively, allowed Salukis to kind of have their way on the offensive end, but great patience. Dribble drive by Armstead of kind of slowing the defense down, making them think he's going to pull it up, and then attacking and finishing the lefty off the glass.
3-point game. Searles has a couple of triples. Jackson with it. Nice drive and a nice hoop. Jeff Early.
The Salukis, being undersized, playing small, has not been afraid to take it inside the paint.
And then a Hime with the giveaway and the dunk on the other end.
Lazy pass.
Very.
Salukis are going to be really active in that zone. You know, they started really packing it inside, but those guards on the wings are starting to get a little heady, getting out there, create turnovers.
Early with the offensive rebound. Wiggins looking to finish, and the foul. He'll shoot 2. Bodies flying everywhere. The foul is going to go against Kendall Brown-Searles. That's his second. 15 foul on the visitors with 8:52 remaining. So both teams approaching the bonus. Wiggins will shoot 2 on the shooting foul. Shadrack LaFille about to check back in for Wichita State.
I think Nick Wiggins has done a nice job of stepping up his role. Yes, he's been criticized on the defensive end. I think he's picked that up over the last few games. He's playing 17 minutes per game over the last 5. You know, he takes care of the ball. Only 6 turnovers all season long. I like, obviously, the game at Drake. He went 4-5 from 3. Went 0 for 4 at Bradley. But it's good to see him hit one in this first half, getting him going. That guy can shoot the ball extremely well. The junior out of Toronto.
4 points early on. He had 7 at Bradley after an 18-point effort at Drake when he had 6 of 8 from the floor. Neither one of those free throws looked particularly good. But it's a tie ball game at the 8:46 mark. Shockers looked like they were going to run away and hide, scoring the game's first 7 points. They were in charge, but Southern Illinois has done a great job staying in the game.
Let's keep in mind, if I remember correctly, this team came into Wichita State last year, late in the season, and knocked off Wichita State, a struggling basketball team, needless to say, and possibly...
Yeah, that game was actually 2 years ago.
2 years ago, it hurt Wichita. I think it hurt Wichita State getting a tournament.
I don't think there's any question. It cost Wichita State a share of the Missouri Valley Conference Championship, and more than likely kept them out of the NCAA tournament at that time. Southern Illinois was a 230, 240 team in the RPI. Southern Illinois has hit 7 of their last 9 shots, 3 of those from three-point range, and that's why they lead this game by 3. And while Southern Illinois is hitting shots, it's Nick Wiggins feeling it. Anthony Early knocking it down with the 3, and he's got 14. The 30 points is far too many for Wichita State to give up to a team that is averaging only 67 points a game.
Well, you know, since the 3 starters went down, and Greg Marshall's basketball teams have always prided themselves playing tough man-to-man defense, and since those starters went down, they have done that. And you're exactly right. There's this to allow 30 points in the first half with over 7 to go. The team's got to find a way to get stops.
Van Fleet does a nice job running it down. Shockers break. Tie ball game. And Armstead Watt.
I think Nick Wiggins, I think he needs to attack the basket. You're in transition, you're a slash, you've got the athleticism, get to the basket.
Tie ball game at the roundhouse. Turnover, so they're getting a lot of shots right at the rim and getting higher percentage looks by creating turnovers defensively.
Well, they're small, and they're guards, and they can get the basketball up, and they can push it. Average about just over 12 turnovers a game. Doing an outstanding job of handling it tonight.
They create about 16 turnovers a game, and the Shockers are obliging. That's a contested shot.
Well, I was just going to say, what they've done so far is take good shots, and they've been patient on the offense. But Desmar Jackson spotting up with a hand in his face, leading scorer on this basketball team, gets it to knock it down.
Shadrack LaFille with just a poor shot. 2 guys on him and leaning and contorted. Comes up with the empty. Nice look down low. Looking to finish is Devontae Drinkard. Drinkard is the only player on this roster taller than 6'5". He goes at 6'9", but he's not a guy that plays a lot. And the only reason he's in this ball game is he's playing for Dantrell Daniels, who was an all-freshman performer last year in the Missouri Valley Conference, and another driving bucket by Southern Illinois.
And back to Drinkard, and he stepped up the 2 starts that he's gotten because of the injury. He's 7-11 from the floor, shooting 63%. Got a season high last game, 8 points, and kind of similar to the guys off the bench of Wichita State. Injuries happen, they step up. He's done that for the Salukis.
Alternating possession, it's going to go to Southern Illinois, which leads this ball game by 4. It's their largest lead. Greg Marshall has not been able to find a defensive combination to answer Southern Illinois.
Well, you saw about the 8-minute mark, a little spark with Wichita State. They got a couple turnovers. They picked up the transition. They got some easy buckets. The crowd got into it. It's almost, and they lost that energy, that enthusiasm. They have got to get that back, and this is a team that does it defensively. But Southern Illinois has got that confidence. I said that word, the swag, I said about early and how he started this basketball game. They have that now, and they're feeling it.
Nice fadeaway on the baseline by Jeff Early. Southern shooting at about 53%. And another turnover by the Shockers. Good energy on the offensive end for Southern Illinois, and an offensive rebound. And the Shockers are simply getting whipped right now.
You know, I did not see this coming into tonight. A first half hiccup by the Shockers.
And Anthony Early just has it taken right away from him.
You know, he had one of those in the Bradley game. When people are chesting him up, he has got to be physical with the ball. He's got to be in a stance, elbows out. He had one ripped from him in Peoria, had it again. You cannot be lazy with the basketball. Especially a guard-oriented team like the Salukis coming into Coca Arena tonight.
Fade away, and one! Are you kidding me? Wow!
Tell you what, when you're feeling it, throw it up, see what happens. Get the and one.
Unreal.
Jeff Early, a guy who averaged 8.6 points a game last year. Much improved, putting up 13.2, 12th in the Valley. Tell you what, high arcing hand in the face, fade away, fall to the ground, gets fouled.
Early's got 10, a chance to make it 11. Southern Illinois is up by double digits. It's the largest deficit that Wichita State has faced this season, down 11. Shockers have given up 41 points, not even 16 minutes into the first half. Now outscoring the Shockers 17-0 on turnovers on an 11-0 run.
And now, if you're Wichita State, you got to dig deep. Who's going to be the guy to step up? You've got your senior leader, Carl Hall, on the bench, injuries. He's the guy that you try to go to, get him a basket.
Nice job by Ahime Arupe. Good tip in. And the crowd exhorting their team on now in the bit of an uncomfortable moment against a team that comes in on a 4-game skid with 3 straight losses to Open Valley play. And then the foul, so Markham Armstead will be shooting free throws.
Yeah, Rupe just working on the inside. They got a good look for the 3, but kept working, gets the tip in, gets the big bucket, and gets it done on the defense. You might want to suit up.
15 minutes, yeah, no kidding.
After tonight.
Southern Illinois shooting a sizzling 55%. The worst that the Shockers have given up this year is 48%, 47% actually, at Tennessee. This is a team that holds opposing offenses to 39% shooting. Demetric Williams for 3. fresh 35. Early for three. Couldn't get it. Two good looks.
Yeah, two great looks. And you got to shoot him. This team will keep shooting that three. But in that zone, they got to try to find that open spot to try to tack it on the inside, see if they can get that defense to commit even more. But I even think if they get the basketball down there with Early and even Arupe, Nick Wiggins could even have the opportunity to post up if they find opportunities down there. Get some chances in the paint, but be aware. The Salukis are going to attack, and they're going to trap you 3-4 guys. So eventually, they're going to have to make some shots outside.
Devontae Drinkard knocks it out of bounds, and we're ready to play. Shockers have missed 7 of their last 9 shots, still shooting right at 50%. They're looking for a backdoor for Wiggins on the baseline. Dimitri for three. And Ahime was lucky he wasn't called for over the back.
Yeah, they were trying to lob. Took him a while to get into it. Salukis kind of sagging the baseline. I think they're aware of it now. They've got hit by it twice already in this first half. But again, an open shot. Dimitri Wiggins, he's the guy that can make it. I said it earlier. 1 of 10 coming into the night. Over the last 2 games, was able to get one to fall, but hasn't been able to knock down the last 2.
6 seconds to shoot. Ball knocked away, and last touch by Southern Illinois. Nice job defensively by Demetric Williams. Greg Marshall exhorting his team on. Team that trails by 9. Boy, Wichita State, after that opening salvo, has been outscored by 16 points after leading it by 7 early on.
Makes you wonder why Barry Hinson went to man-to-man in the first place.
Yeah.
They got to throw it to him. Even if you don't think he's going to score it down there, they've got to get early the basketball. Very athletic, determined player, can score from the perimeter and obviously can score down low in the paint. He's had 11 quick early points. Good hands. Tell you what, they've been impressive how well they get their hands on basketball.
Nice look by Malcolm Armstead, and Early with the flush. That's been the good news of the first half. 16 points for Cleanthony Early, and a timeout by Southern Illinois with 54.9 seconds remaining.
Nice job by Armstead, the senior transfer of knowing shot clock.
Take your head at it. It's the 41 that Southern Illinois scored. That's the issue.
And this is a team that averages just over 66 points a game. They're on pace to score 88.
Nice little double team in the corner with the trap. Mikel Cotton playing with early fouls. Been one of the main defensive components sitting on the bench for Greg Marshall.
And he's that guy, that energy, that effort. Tell you what, he was outstanding in Peoria, the Bradley game. It was a joy to watch him defend and get on the floor. Plays with a ton of energy. Fun to watch. That does hurt the Shockers defensively.
All the way to the basket, and then a foul called. It's going to go against Demetric Williams with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. So Southern Illinois runs some clock, and he's going to end up getting 2 free throws out of it.
But a nice job by the transfer from Wyoming. No shot clock. What do? You put the basketball on the floor. The Salukis have been successful with that dribble drive. They did it again, gets him to the line.
Where he's a 63% free throw shooter. 5th leading scorer in the conference, 10th leading rebounder, number 3 in steals. This is 1 in the bonus. Desmar's had a nice first half. Long look, and he knocks it down.
Salukis felt really good about picking this guy up from Wyoming. He's a really, really nice player out of Mountain West, and this is a team that had a lot of guys transferred out. I mean, good players. Kevin Dillard went to Dayton. Gene Teague, Seton Hall. And these are guys that are leading scorers for their basketball team that they lost. So not all, you talked about it earlier, Bruce, with guys with injuries, sickness, suspensions, but they lost a lot of guys because guys wanted to transfer out to other schools. Good basketball players.
Southern 5 for 5 from the line. Wichita State beats the pressure and will have the last shot should they choose to take it. All right, here's the offense at the 9-second mark.
Open.
Very good look. Dimitric for three. Couldn't get it to go, and that's going to do it.
A lot of good looks from the perimeter. Shots just unable to get in the fall in that zone.
Wichita State 3 of 9 from three-point range and down by 9 at the half.
Into the glass. Their zone was very effective. They come out this second half with some energy. Get rolling. It's nice to see Tikel Cotton. He sat a lot in that first half. Played only 5 minutes.
Right down low to Anthony Early, and just as the game started in the first, it continues in the second with Early. Now 18 points. Shockers man-to-man steadfast throughout the game. Comes a possession game for Southern. Nice job defensively. Ball on the floor. 7 seconds left. Timeout called by Southern. Nope. Jump ball and possession arrow is going to go to Southern Illinois.
You know, look who gets on the floor. Tikel Cotton, the linebacker. Gets a hand on the ball. Demetric Williams sneaking from the backside. See a little juice coming out in the second half with this basketball team. It's a very resilient team. They've got a resilient coach who demands a lot out of them. Gary G demanded and had a few words at halftime. Go fire underneath them. It's what they needed.
And there's the first stop of the second half. So with it, Wichita State with a chance now to cut it to within 5 or 4 off the 7-point deficit.
Surprise. Barry Henson has started this second half in that man-to-man. He was so successful with the zone to allow Wichita State to get within 4.
Barry Henson's going to take a short timeout. This place is alive after the three-pointer, and it's all of a sudden a 4-point game. Full timeout now. We're back in a moment. Difference now is that it's only gotten them back to within 4. Shockers were down by as many as 11 in this game.
And we got the crowd back into it. Look at that, look at that. Sense of urgency.
Tikel Cotton all the way to the bucket and the foul. Tikel Cotton just took it away. And the Shockers defensively now have created 3 straight turnovers on the other end.
Tikel Cotton just enforcing his will, defending the basketball game. This is a team that played outstanding. All 5 guys in Peoria at Bradley defensively was a joy to watch. And he was one of the guys that led that team. He's ready to go. Played 5 minutes in the first half. Been outstanding to come out in the second.
Looked like he knew what he was doing there. Just a 38% free throw shooter.
Defends. He's got great anticipation of what the basketball's doing and what the dribbler's doing. Always knows where the basketball's at. Got really quick hands, nice strong hands.
And the Shockers have matched their opening game run with a 7-0 start here to start the second. Extending their defensive pressure, which I like against a team that is going to play a ton of minutes. And there's another strip from behind. Shockers with numbers, 3-on-1. Cotton early to finish and one.
Hey, what team is this? It's in the same team that came out in the first half. Greg Marshall got him in the locker room. I'm sure.
Chance to give Wichita State their first lead in quite some time. And he does it. 21 for Clay Anthony Early. across the timeline come the Salukis with time to spare. Jackson almost turned it over off the dribble, then pops the three.
Nice shot. That's a big shot. Desmar Jackson leads his team in scoring, assists, steals, three-point shooting. You saw how he shoots from behind the arc there. They need a bucket. And Anthony Early answers.
24 for Early now. Popping the three, and Shockers back out in front by one.
You're seeing a special night from Clay Anthony Early on the offensive end. 24 with over 17 to go in his game. He's hot, feet in the rock.
First team foul and a half on Wichita State.
Foul goes against Malcolm Armstead. Or was it Demetric Williams? It was Demetric, and that's his third.
Swan at the line shooting two.
Greg Marshall's team, they're fueled by big play defense. They turn it into big play offense. When this team gets it going on the defensive end, man, they're fun to watch.
Demetric did not come out of the game, but Nick Wiggins is going to check in for him.
Nick Wiggins back in for Wichita
And that's
State.
quite a shift right there defensively when you're trading Demetric Williams for Nick Wiggins. Wiggins can score, no question about that. Josh Swan, the 6'2 sophomore out of Atlanta, drains them both. Southern Illinois hit all 7 of their free throw attempts tonight. And they're back out by one.
Shockers got to keep this pace going. A great start to the second half. Keep the momentum going, the pace going. Attack that defense, get steals, push it in transition. I think that's probably a good guy to go to, though.
Playing him straight up with Jeff Early on him. That's a 7-inch size difference. Down low, Agime Arupke with the bucket. Nice feed from Takale Cotton.
Great feed, great steal by the 7-footer Rupe. Tell his agility is so much better in 1 year, being able to catch it and make a move and score. Tough.
Nice play by Takale Cotton, but he couldn't quite finish. Right back quickly, Southern Illinois into the offensive end. Now they break out into the secondary. And the foul's going to go against Malcolm Armstead. He wanted the jump ball, the tie of possession. Didn't get it. And it'll be a 2-shot foul for Southern Illinois.
You know, see how Southern Illinois reacts to this outburst by Wichita State in the second half. You saw what they did in the first. Shockers came out early scoring, 7.70 lead. Shockers do that in the second half. See if they can react again in a positive way and kind of weather the storm a little bit with the three by Desmar Jackson. Now they get an easy foul and get to the line.
Swan knocks it through.
Lindsey back in for Southern Illinois.
3 in a row in the last 30 seconds for the sophomore out of Atlanta.
Wichita State.
Craig talked about the defections at Southern Illinois over the last few years. They've also had, beyond transfers, they've had some disciplinary issues and players that have been out on suspension. They've had all sorts of issues that Barry Henson has come in and trying to work his way through.
He's got to rebuild the program.
Yeah,
again.
absolutely, pretty much from scratch.
It's a team from 2000 to 2009, a decade of dominance. 6 conference championships, 6 NCAA tournament appearances, 2 Sweet 16s, 2 NIT appearances. And I think he's the right guy that could do it. Very, very successful at Missouri State. 9th season there, 4 NIT appearances.
Malcolm Armstead with an errant shot and then a foul. And so Clay Anthony Early keeping the ball alive on the offensive glass with 4 seconds left. Wichita State is going to get another possession. Call 1-888. Get more to find how Cox, Kansas 22 can be viewed in high definition. Fresh 35 off the inbounds. Wichita State down 1. They were down by as many as 11 in the first half. Down by 9 at the break. Shadrach LaFille, and he's going to shoot free throws off the block.
Nice shot fake, nice bounce pass to feed LaFille.
Shadrach LaFille and shooting 2.
Wichita State has produced 10 points off of turnovers against Southern Illinois here in the second half. They're outscored 17-0 in that same stat in the first. Shadrach with 3 points on the evening. Had a bucket in the first half, tied it back up. LaFille, early, Wiggins, Jaquel Cotton, and Malcolm Armstead for the Shockers.
Oh, we got it.
A nice job by Clay Anthony early to tie up possession. Possession arrow belongs to Wichita State. Clay Anthony early is having a game. 24 points, 3 rebounds. He's got a block. And a great play off the inbounds. Malcolm Armstead to Ahime Arupe. High to the rafters with the throwdown.
It's time to go now. This team needs to expand on what just happened. A great flush, a great pass. Arupe throwing it down with authority, getting a block on the other end, and the foul. Crowd's in it, coaches in it.
4th block of the night for Ahime, who thunderously dunks on one end off the inbounds and then blocks the shot on the other end. Look at this play off the inbounds. Marcus Armstead sells it, and Arupe finishes.
I like how Arupe has his hands on his knees. Gotta be a nonchalant, ball's not coming to me. And then getting it done on the defensive end. Had 30 blocks last year. 1 away from that number, 4 tonight. Woo. Big fella, 7-footer, getting it done. A difference maker on both ends of the court.
Early is posting up on Josh Swan down low. Now he comes up high with the ball screen, rolls off it to the corner. 3 on the way.
I like the poise by the point guard, the senior. Malcolm Armstead knows that he can get early off the screen and pop. Kind of lures the defense in, and Early's so good at that. Sets a good solid screen, they have to help off. Steps up, knocks it down. Push it.
Shockers on a 6-0 run and looking for more. Up 5. They've outscored Southern Illinois by 14 so far here in the second. Ahime Arupe on the offensive glass.
Different basketball team in the second half, isn't it? Woo.
And a 20-second timeout taken by Barry Henson, who's getting into Devontae Drinkard. Shockers leading it 57-50 after being down.
He's most in the valley. A young team, not playing a lot of guys. 4 guys play 30 or more minutes. Fatigue has got to set in, especially with this defense that is just picked up tenfold by the Shockers.
Wichita State forced 2 turnovers through the first 20 minutes. They've forced 4 here. That's another block. Another from Ahime, this time the foul. Arupe just erasing shots down low.
Oh, man.
Second foul against Ahime.
The Salukis had their way in the first half with the dribble drive. They were able to get in there. They even had some buckets going at Ahime. But tell you what, now, got a 5th block, almost picked up his 6th. They're going to be hesitant. The guard play of dribble the basketball in the paint. Somebody's down low, putting it away.
Swan with his 5th straight make from the line here in the second half. Knocking things down at the line is Josh Swan, which is news. 11 for 22 coming in. All of his points are at the free throw line. So back to a 5-point edge for Wichita State. Cale Cotton getting a high ball screen from early.
Effective job by the Salukis. Shockers wanted to go to the lob to Arupe.
It's a man defense by Southern Illinois. Wiggins, open three. Cale Cotton went flying in there a little too aggressively. And the foul goes against Cleanthony Early instead. 14 foul against Wichita State, second on Clee. 27 points, in case you're wondering, the last Shocker to broach 30. Joe Ragland on the road last year at Davidson in the bracket buster.
Don't bring it. Stop doing it. Figure out how to score behind the perimeter. You take it in the paint. It's getting swatted.
6 blocks for Ahime Arupe.
Put that one about 4 rows deep.
Just having fun now. There's a 3 ball on the way. You bet.
Anthony being a good freshman, this guy's going to be a good player. For the Salukis, 6'2". Got a good-looking shot. Great with the dribble.
Shockers were up 7 a moment ago, but Southern Illinois has weathered the storm. Cotton, yes.
I like his game.
Well, he's scoring the basketball a little bit more. He's had some double-digit performances in 2 of his last 3 games.
He's so strong with the basketball. Strong defensively, holds his ground well. You see how he can tackle with strength, but yet has the finesse to drop the teardrop.
Drinkard blocked by Arupe. And then that's into back court, and it's over and back. Shockers' defensive pressure just creating all sorts of problems.
Think it has anything to do with the 7-footer?
Yeah, I think it might have a little something to do with him. It's where it started, and they fed off of it. Senior out of Lagos, Nigeria. Greg Marshall at his presser yesterday was asked the question and was musing whether all of the 3 or 4 years that it took to get Ahime out of Nigeria into the United States to play at Wichita State was worth the 1 year that they're having from him right now. And he said, not even a doubt. Early for 29.
Greg Marshall and his staff, they do such a tremendous job of recruiting quality players, never giving up on guys. Arupe was a process that they were able to manage the whole time. We're able to get him here. You said it, 1 year, it's been an outstanding year. This is a guy that fought fatigue, fought agility, couldn't handle the basketball, didn't have hands. Well, he's got all that now. Played 29 minutes the last 2 games. He's rebounding the basket, blocking shots. Guys don't want to take it into the paint with the 7-footer down there.
A little too strong on that pass from Marcus Armstead. Early down low. He's looking for the turnaround. Van Vliet for 3. Place was ready to explode.
Hey, look, Greg Marshall, the guys he recruits, he doesn't recruit. He recruits a balanced team. Does a tremendous job. He's got a guy tonight putting up 29 points on his way for a career night.
Block party for a Hill and Jake White in along with Cale Cotton for Wichita State.
You can't have any letdowns. You get some subs coming out of a timeout.
Malcolm Armstead and Fred Van Vliet playing the guards. Approaching the midway point of the second half. They're trying to get Lufiel down low. Now the high screen. 9 seconds to shoot. Malcolm Armstead is going to drive. And 1 second for Wichita State on the shot clock. That was not a clean possession for this new 5.
Probably really the first possession in the second half. Wichita State was kind of stagnant. Couldn't really get anything out of the high screen by the field. Weren't able to get him the basketball in the paint. Maybe a good idea is to bring Cleanthony Early back in the game. Marshall just checks him in. Guy hot, get him the ball quick. 1 second on the shot.
Well, they've obviously got a set play that they want to run here.
Go to him.
Lee. And they didn't get the shot they wanted. So that was a wasted possession in a ball game that still is only a 6-point lead with 10 minutes, 20 seconds left.
Greg Marshall keeping the pressure on the Salukis. Picks up full. Like you said, this guy, short bench, fatigue has got to set in. The more pressure you put on them, the more you wear them down.
Well, just this pressure wears you out a little bit more. They get across the timeline with 2 seconds to spare. Wichita State with a little zone look now. Throwing a little change up at Southern Illinois.
Good hand.
Van Vliet looking to finish. Under. Cotton with the put back. You know, Van Vliet is kind of a cruiser. He's got that that sneaky quickness, but he's got great hands, and he can really create havoc with those hands, as you've seen before in the Tulsa game. Remember how he forced about 4 turnovers in that game against Tulsa.
You gotta like his patience. Did a really good job of going slow to fast. Smooth player. A raw freshman, got a lot of improvement, can handle the basketball, doesn't turn it over a lot. He's had a few games where he's had 4 or 5 turnovers, and he's trying to be aggressive. And you gotta like that out of him.
Great defensive possession by Wichita State. Van Vliet doing a really good job right there on Jackson. 3 ball on the way, Wiggins. And then the foul is going to go against, see who they got. Looks like they got the big fella, Jeff Early. I say big because he's about 210 pounds. That is the 4th foul on Jeff Early. Trying to get some substitutions in. Josh Swan into the game for Early. He sits with 4. That's for 30. Couldn't quite get it. Jackson all the way back. Nice shot. He's got 20. Jackson's a nice-looking player. He's played virtually every minute of this basketball game.
He averages 30 minutes on the season. Salukis sticking around. Talker's last 2 possessions, kind of slow.
Nice job by Fred Van Vliet with the take.
And you just saw a little bit of that slow to fast, gets it on the wing. You don't think he's going to attack it, but all of a sudden he's already at the basket putting it off the glass.
Demetric Williams playing with 3 fouls. For 3. Yes.
3-point basket by Jackson.
So Jackson with 5 straight for Southern Illinois. Still in this game.
Jackson
Early.
came.
Yes.
There it is.
32 for Cleanthony Early.
He's answered a couple times when the Salukis have knocked a 3.
Avoiding the double team is Kendall Brown-Searles. Nice look down low, but not nice enough. And then the foul committed. Timeout on the floor. Cleanthony Early having a career night in a great junior season. Building.
Just had a birthday.
Early short-armed that one. Looked a little tired on that shot. He's missed a couple times at the line tonight. That's about all he's missed. 8-point Wichita State lead. That is their largest of the game. Jackson to the basket. Ball knocked 3. Arutke just came over and denied it. Good defense by Early as well.
Ooh, yeah. Van Vliet had Early on the lob on the weak side.
And
Still found him.
Shoot free throws. One in the bonus. No basket on the play. It is not a shooting foul. So Clay Anthony Early will shoot one in the bonus.
22 early back in for Southern Illinois.
Look at that line. My goodness, 32 points, 6 rebounds. He's played a bunch of minutes, but he wants to be in the game. He's feeling it. 7 minutes left, and he's got 33 points, maybe about to be 34 right here.
He's a special player. On top of that, he gets so many touches, only has 1 turnover on the night. Handles it well.
Shockers up double digits. Boy, and the way they've extended their defense in the second half has made a huge difference against the shorthanded and short Southern Illinois team. Gulliver in his travels. I'm telling you, these are the Lilliputians of the Missouri Valley Conference. Nobody over 6'5" on the floor for Barry Henson. Jackson. A little follow and one.
He's a good player.
Yeah, he is nice. Followed his shot, knew it was going to be short, got the tip and one. And he has gone along with 25 points. So 2 guys just putting on a show tonight. Southern Illinois, a perfect 11 of 11 from the free throw line.
And this is a team that doesn't shoot it very well.
No.
66% on the season. But the junior, 6'5".
Jackson just a 63% free throw shooter. Shooting into the Wichita State student section. And Hime with the rebound. Ruke with 10 points and 7 rebounds to go along with what we think now maybe 8 blocks.
I wonder how they'll tally that. There was a deflection, and then he puts it up on the glass.
Yeah, he pinned it on the glass.
Could be a steal.
Could be.
Just another chapter, if you want to call it, in these guys that weren't going to play this many minutes because of injuries. They dealt with adversity, not like they've had to do since these injuries have happened in that first half. And just a tremendous job of answering. One of our keys is why change now. This team has stayed the course. They've done their job. Be with it, the first half with the fluke, but have come out in the second half and just played tremendous.
Having said that, it's still only a 6-point game at the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have thought being down at 11 points at one time, you wouldn't think they'd come out and be in a 6-point lead here in the second. They're really working hard, wasn't it? Got to switch that if you're St. Lucas.
Short. He's left a couple shots short now. Looks like he's wearing down just a little bit. Played a lot of minutes tonight. Nice take. That's a 4-point game, folks.
Yeah, and he did it on early, and you said it. He's played a lot of minutes tonight, well over 30 minutes with 5 to go in this game. Was short on the last shot, gets beat on the drive. Then you got to bear down and grind it.
Demetric Williams all the way to the basket, draws the foul.
Demetric Williams this season has kind of been that guy when they've needed a bucket. He's found a way to get it or get himself to the foul line, as he's done here.
That's the 9th team foul on Southern Illinois. Demetric will shoot 2 here, and the Shockers will shoot 2 the rest of the way. Demetric is 67% free throw shooter. He's been to the line 15 times in his last 4 games. Coming off that 10-point effort at Bradley. And knocks it down. Demetric with 4 points in the ball game. Shockers are going to go smaller now with Ahime Rupke sitting down. I don't imagine that'll be a long rest. He's been so key defensively for Wichita State. Shockers 12 of 17 from the line. Still some work to do inside of 5 minutes. Southern Illinois working it. Boy, great job, almost got the steal. Dale Cotton high in the air, and he's fouled, and I think that's it for Jeff Early. That's a big loss for them. That's their leading rebounder and probably their best defender. And Jeff Early is gone.
He's ninth in the Missouri Valley in steals. A 6'1", sixth in the Valley in rebounding. It's a tough loss for them, let alone a senior, a guy that they look to here in adversity. 4:37 to go, and they're still down 5. See him pulling his team together, tell him to finish strong.
Dale Cotton will be at the line shooting 2 as Brown Searles checks back in for the Salukis. Well, if Wichita State can get out of this one, it'll be a bullet dodged, because Southern Illinois has come at them with both barrels tonight. And that's a great testament to Barry Hinson's ability to get a team ready to play against tough odds. Now, obviously, coming in here to a building where you've got 10,300, and you know it's going to be emotional. It's a great atmosphere to play basketball in. But Southern Illinois has really played well tonight, and they played with great energy and emotion.
And it's a team that's come into this game with a 4-game losing streak. They're 6-1 when leading at half. Traditionally, they should be winning this game. They're 1-6 when they've trailed at half.
Great job by Wichita State on the offensive glass. Armstead had the first chance, Arupke the second, and Ahime will be at the line shooting 2. Barry Henson wants a over-the-back call against Ahime. Although there's no one on the floor for Southern Illinois that Ahime just couldn't reach over. Wichita State going to have opportunities at the line here. They're going to have to finish it off. Deep knee bend, and he came up short. And then Ahime with the foul over the top. That's 4 on Ahime.
Not a good foul. Keeps the clock stopped, puts him at the line. I like the effort, but you have to be smart with 4:30 to go in this game and not committing a silly foul.
Greg Marshall is going to make situational substitutions with Jake White and Ahime Arupe as Ahime sits down. 4:31 remaining in this game. We've got basketball to be played in a 6-point game. And Jackson at the line, where Southern Illinois has missed but once. Jackson with 26.
You know, when we talked about the short bench of Southern Illinois, thinking that maybe, you know, fatigue was set in, but they still got a lot of gas left in the tank. And this is one guy that can get him right back in it.
Shockers haven't had a field goal in the last 3.5 minutes. .26-3 shy of a SIU high for Jackson. Whistle before the bucket.
What I like about Clay Anthony early, the guy's got 34 points on the night. Catches the ball off top. All of his shots have come out of transition, out of their half-court sets, getting in the ball. He doesn't take many bad shots He's a very unselfish player. You look at his numbers, 34 points. The guy was shooting it every time. That's not the case with him.
Shockers just 15 of 24 from the line tonight, so they've left some points on the floor, shooting 62.5%. And it's keeping Southern Illinois in the game right now. He may work in that right shoulder.
I think he's just worn out from having so many blocked shots. I don't think he's injured. He needs some ice on it.
Takale knocks down one of the two. 6-point game still. Plenty of time left in this thing. Inside of 4 minutes. Swan with it. That's Bean out top. 10 seconds to shoot. Nice crossover. And Jake White with a big clear.
Nice defensive play. Tell you what, Clay Anthony early, the 6'8" frame. Got beat a couple possessions back. Didn't allow himself to get beat on that possession.
And Dimitric with the and one on the take. Nope, they waved it off.
Got him with the charge.
Takale Cotton now has the responsibility of Desmar Jackson. That's an interesting matchup. Arguably the Shockers' best defender against Southern Illinois' best scorer. Nice bucket.
Basket by
Pendleton, freshman out of Evansville.
These guys will mix it up. Been quiet tonight. No hesitation, straight to the bucket. Another answer by Clay Anthony early.
So Clay Anthony early with his 37th point.
I don't think he's done.
I don't either.
Touch it every time. Under 3 minutes.
On the switch, Van Vliet now. On Jackson, strong to the basket. Boy, Desmar Jackson keeps answering. 28 points.
Hey, we've seen two players having special nights tonight. It's been a joy to watch. Clay Anthony early and Desmar Jackson, two juniors. They'll go at it again later this year and next year.
Early for 39 now with the bucket. They're on their feet in the roundhouse.
So special about Clay Anthony early. Nice 6'8". Can handle it, can drive it, can step out and shoot it. Tell you what, he's playing like a pro tonight.
Now the Shockers spreading it out with 1:49 remaining.
So Lucas, they need to get up, make Armstead do something with the dribble, just use the shot clock.
10 seconds to shoot. Armstead pops the three. Can't imagine that was the type of shot that they wanted in that situation. A great job by Cotton to deny Jackson an angle to the basket. 3-ball on the way.
Got it.
Kendall
Big
Brown
shot.
Searles, a big three-pointer, makes it a 4-point game. Just a 2-possession game at the minute 12 mark.
Senior only knocked four triples over the last 3 games. Keeps a big one to fall. Keeps him alive in this game.
Boy, Clay Anthony early has got to have the basketball at some point in this possession.
You know, Illinois did not do a good job. That last possession, they should have enforced the dribbler. They allowed Wichita State to take the shot clock down to 5 or 6 seconds. No pressure. You up. What a great addition to this basketball club.
So you could make the argument that based on the injury of Carl Hall, he's been the Shockers' most valuable player. And there's a turnover. Dimitric Williams gave it to him low, and it was a hard bounce. So Southern Illinois with 55 seconds left. Now Ahime Arupe back in. Jake White sits. 2-possession game. Wichita State up by 4.
A play without fouling. Salukie's not a good free throw shooting team. 66%, we talked about it, but they shot it well from the line tonight.
Little hop, hop. And Ahime gets another one.
Nice job by Greg Marshall, subbing on the defensive end with the shot blocker.
And Takil Cotton loses it. And they'll shoot free throws. The Shockers just not able to finish.
I don't know what the hurry was.
Malcolm Armstead called for the foul. So with 29.7 seconds remaining, the Shockers turn it over without even a shot on the other end. And now shooting two is Anthony Bean, a 65% free throw shooter, and a chance to make this a two-point game.
Tell you what, you kind of get lost in the play by Clay Anthony early and Desmar Jackson, and then all of a sudden, you potentially are going to have a two-point game.
By the way, Clay Anthony Early's 39 points, the most for a Shocker since Xavier McDaniel's 43 against Bradley all the way back in 1985. But that is not the storyline. It is a two-point game.
The Lookies have no timeout. You've got to either trap, try to get an early trap if you can get a steal, but once that ball gets past half court, you've got to foul. Or elect to foul immediately, save as much time on the clock.
Number 25.
Shockers have been a bit disastrous at the line tonight. 16 of 26, barely over 60%. Armstead for the season, 65% free throw shooter. They are needed here. 2 free throws. A little anxiety here tonight against Southern Illinois. Malcolm Armstead was in a similar situation, remember, at Air Force in a game late. Tightly contested game, knocked down a couple of free throws to give the Shockers a 2-possession lead in their eventual winning margin.
Remember, there's been a lot of comparison between him and Joe Ragland. Would he come in and fill the shoes of Joe Ragland? And I think he's done that. One thing Joe Ragland did was make free throws. Malcolm Armstead just knocked down 2 big free throws. I think he filled that void. Maybe an early one.
Force the turnover, and the Shockers need to pull it out. Armstead is fouled, 15.9 seconds remaining. In a 2-possession game.
Nice hands by Armstead. Hits the 2 big free throws. Gets the steal. A little chuckle.
Armstead, the line shooting 2.
So Armstead with a chance for his 8th and 9th points of the night. And to essentially put this game away for the Shockers. Shockers trying to win for the 16th straight time at home. In the last 3 years at home, Wichita State 53-6. That's 19th nationally. Next action for Wichita State on the road Sunday afternoon. Greg and I will have that for you here on Cox. 3:05 tip-off. Forced shot, and that's going to do it. Malcolm Armstead going to close it out, and Wichita State is going to win a very, very hard-earned 82-76 win. The most points scored against Wichita State this season